friends. Okay, so today's video, I'm gonna talk about Catholic swaps, different ideas of, you know, just like mainstream things that you could maybe switch over, and then you can really dive into the Catholic faith, but still have like the same feel as the mainstream things. So I did a video for children last fall, it seems so long ago, all about, you know, Catholic swaps for kids, like instead of this book, read this book, or, you know, things like that. So you guys asked if I could do one for adults. So that's what this video is all about, Catholic swap. Okay, so the first one that I recommend is, instead of a reality show, that is full of gossip and garbage, like Real Housewives. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's all about just gossipy, pride, just stuff, right? But if you want a really awesome feel-good show, there is a show on, I think it's on Formed. I'll see where I can find it. I can't remember. Oh, actually it was on Amazon Prime years ago when I watched it, but it is to this day like one of my favorite shows ever. It is called Real Life Catholic, and it's by Chris Stefanik, and it is so awesome. He goes to different people's houses, different parts of the country and the world, and he sees how people like love the Catholic faith and interviews that. It's like a feel good, you're so happy to be Catholic. Okay, I am not alone. I know a lot of people come on this channel and they're like, oh good, I'm not the only Catholic. Like, there's other Catholics out there. This show you will love, because it is just so full of like really normal, awesome, beautiful Catholics doing their work, how they pray. Like, me and my husband, it's our favorite show. Like, we've laughed, we've cried. It's so awesome. So that, I think there's only 2 seasons. I heard there was like gonna be a 3rd season. Anyway, I hope that they do more seasons, because it just gives you so much hope for our for the future, quite frankly. So there's one. Okay, so the next one is Joe Rogan. He's a I don't know, I've never listened to like one of his actual podcasts or anything like that, but I guess he's like an awesome interviewer, and he is very mainstream though. Like, he has a lot of very different thoughts than a lot of people do. I've only heard a couple of his like little takes on like Instagram or something, like they'll have little clips or whatever. So so instead of that, not saying like these are necessarily bad, some of them are, I would not recommend, but some of them, I don't know, maybe you love Joe Rogan. Okay, I don't think my husband listens to him either, but there is a guy, Jason Jones is his name. My husband absolutely loves him. He's really funny. He's very Catholic. He had a great conversion. His story's amazing. And so I recommend Jason Jones if you're looking for like a podcast that you can listen to. Also, if you're a girl, Abiding Together is another good one. It's not really like news-based or anything like that, but it's still like, if you're looking for like, you need help spiritually, they're awesome. It's a sister and 2 lay women who are moms. Awesome podcast. So those are the 2 I would recommend. Jason Jones is a little more, I don't know, he just says it how it is. It's kind of refreshing because he's so not afraid to say anything, but he's really funny, very entertaining. He has so many stories that are like, who is this guy? Okay, so another one is, I've mentioned this in the other video, but instead of like Netflix or, I don't know, Hulu, you know, I've heard like it's all full of garbage. And so if you're looking for something that you can like just, even if your kids happen to turn it on, you are not embarrassed by it at all. It's called PureFlix. And so it's pretty much, and also Formed big time. Like, that is Catholic, Formed is. So it's formed.org. And like everything on there is fabulous, well produced, great. And then there's also Netflix. And so that is like the Christian version. And we have it, and I've never found anything that's anti-Catholic. You know, it's not like I've seen all of them, but they have like Veggie Tales, they have Courageous, like the old school like feel good Christian movies. So like you're gonna put on a movie, it might be a little cheesy, I'm not gonna lie, but at least you know you're not getting like garbage, right? Like that's what I can't stand, when we like start a movie and then there's like these random like love scenes or whatever, like that does not need to be there. They're not married, like, you know, I have so little, the closer I get to God, the littler patience I have for those type of things, or like the foul language and all of that. So I used to be able to stomach all that, and I proudly can say I can't anymore. So I think that's a good thing when you can't, when you're like, I don't want to watch this is offensive to God. Okay, so the next one that I recommend is, instead of watching like CNN or Fox, like those mainstream, you know, news organizations, there's a Catholic version. It's been there forever. It's called EWTN. It is by far much better than either one of those, because there's always a Catholic twist to it. There's always like the Catholicism part there, and I really do like that. EWTN, I know not everybody has EWTN on, you know, cable. I think you can just like stream it though. I think it's, you just go on and like look up EWTN. I think you can like watch it from the internet. So I don't think you even need a special app. There's also Church Pop is like very entertaining. So it like talks a little bit more about like entertainment news, but it's like Catholic. So it's kind of more fun news. My mother-in-law who goes to daily mass, she's awesome. She's been on here before, praying the Divine Mercy. She loves Church Pop. She gets a lot of her news from Church Pop. There's also The Loop is another one, which and Catholic Vote. Catholic Vote is another one. So those are just a couple, like instead of having like the mainstream media, you can always do those instead, and you'll get pretty much the same news, I'm guessing, but it's probably more geared towards what we believe. So I like that. There's something like very special to me about having news that is by Catholic people for Catholic people. All right, as far as books, The Purpose-Driven Life. So if you're looking for like a self-help type of book, Matthew Kelly is he's a speaker and he has written so many books. He's here on YouTube as well. He's awesome and he has a lot of great wisdom, and if you're just really struggling with and you don't know how to crawl out of it, he is so good. He has lots of books, lots of like self-care books, but they're all very God geared and orientated, and so I highly recommend him. My father-in-law who had a big conversion to the Catholic faith loves Matthew Kelly. He like speaks his language. So it's kind of funny, all of these are like other people kind of told me about them, because I'm so in like kid mode that I don't get out much. Like my life kind of revolves around homemaking and my children and making sure my children are not reading anything they shouldn't or watching anything they shouldn't. You know, I'm like the protector. My husband is too, but he listens to podcasts and all of that. So anyway, so those are like a couple of them. Actually, I'm reading right now. It's called Anti-Mary Exposed, and it is very fascinating. It is a little controversial, I will say, because it talks about the feminist movement. And it's very hardcore. It like just jumps right in. I'm reading it with my a group of my Catholic mommies, and so we're halfway through it. And so far, from what I can tell, it is intense, and there are things you're gonna be like, I need to take a breath and like think about this and process what I am learning. So it is very interesting. But if you're looking for like a Catholic perspective on feminism, this book, highly recommend. It's called Anti-Mary Exposed, and it's so controversial that I think on Amazon they wouldn't sell it. That's how you know it's probably good, right? Oh, I put for trilogy, Lord of the Rings. I know there's so many other ones. There's Fatherless, Motherless, and Childless. That's a trilogy, and these books are like thick. There's Michael O'Brien. He is such a good, if you love reading novels, he is really good. However, he's very apocalyptic in a lot of his books, but they're so well done and they are page turners. They're so good. My mother-in-law has read like all of them. She is the biggest fan, and she is she has time to read. I honestly don't have time. I am reading Anti-Mare Exposed, but that's really all I have time for right now. And anyway, those are my ideas. Definitely in the comments, right, what do you recommend? Instead of this, I'd watch this, because you probably all know more than I do. Like I said, I got this all from my friends and my family because I don't get out much. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.